Okay. After we lose, we have different lose screens available to you. It kind of depends on what happens, and most of the time they're just random. So Brian's going to try to lose really fast. We'll see how long it takes him, and then we can show you some of our lose screens. Yeah, if you want, we can take feedback right now while he is trying to lose. It might take a little bit.
This is really impressive. This is work I would expect more from a college class than a high school class, so really good job. It's clear that you've done a ton of things. You know, like you were saying, the AI and the modeling, and there's a lot of work here. Do the colors of the eggs matter in ways other than their health?
No, they bear no significance other than allowing you to differentiate between them and what health values they have.
Why did you choose to have different health on each egg?
Just to give another element of playstyle, you can let the blue egg be under attack for a little bit longer than you can other eggs, so it just gives you another basically strategy. If there's a lot of creatures going around, a lot of things chasing you, you don't really have time to stop and defend your eggs. So if you have a lot of blue eggs, then you have a little bit more time. It gives a little bit more random events for the player to try to deal with and to make the game more interesting each time they play it, so it's not just the same thing every time they do it.
So a lot of things you want to do with games is create depth without adding complexity. And to me, it feels like the different health eggs are a layer of complexity that doesn't add a lot of depth. They're like the choice between defending one end of the eggs versus the other egg end isn't a very interesting choice. I would say either take those colors in an interesting way, like the eggs are what allow you to purchase more cavemen defenders, or just make them all the same, so I don't have to think about what the different colors mean. The feedback for your eggs being under attack was way too small. Like that's such a core piece of the game. Like I need to know that there's the one tiny Oviraptor who got away that is destroying my egg cache. That I think should have been a much bigger piece of the UI. And then the other piece that I thought would be frustrating watching is like when that one Oviraptor gets through and you're way down that cave, then you're like, I gotta go all the way back to get this one thing. To be able to do a little bit more cleanup and like be able to post so one of those like rock thrower guys a lot earlier on in the game would be nice, so I can just rely on my turret will take care of that. But overall, really awesome. Love the art style, all the weird glowing stuff. Love the theme. This like cavemen defending dodo eggs is pretty hilarious. So good job with that.
Thank you. And the thing with the Oviraptors getting through, that's why we added in like the OV egg and the poison berry, because you can throw that a fairly long distance, and that'll get them to attack other dinosaurs.
Yeah, I got to agree that there's a lot of effort that was put into it, and it really does feel like a game, and there's a lot that you can do with what you've created, just in terms of as you would, choose to push it in different directions, simplify some systems or elaborate on others. I think you've got a basis for actually making something really interesting. And yeah, there's a lot of effort put into the artwork and everything else. Just kind of spectating it, it did seem a bit confusing after a while. There was just a lot going on, and it was a mess of colors and things on the screen, and I wasn't quite sure what was leading to what, in terms of the cause and effect. So I think trying to figure out what your visual language is in terms of the player doing something and it resulting in a reaction, I think could be maybe cleaned up a little bit as you pursue this a little bit more. But yeah, it's a really interesting start, and I give you guys a lot of credit for doing what you did in the amount of time that you had. So just keep cracking at it.
Yeah, you guys really brought something like kind of from start to finish. Like you kind of came through the whole pipeline. It's a nice game design document. The code in it that I looked at looks like really clean and intentional as you're running through, and then you got this huge amount of feedback. Like I love all of this kind of stats at the end. Like you guys put a lot of thought into like sort of what all these different like things would happen. Do you think you're going to keep going with it? Like, is this something you want to continue, or is the project done?
Yeah, this is me and Brian are always coming up with like new ideas and stuff that we want to try. So if nothing else, this will be like our guinea pig for jumping off into other games or other ideas or other projects.
If you came back to this one, you guys, it's sort of an odd way to put the theme in with that cave, and it's long, and I think what Bobby said, where it feels busy, kind of, like it's just like, what is going on here? I think if you were going to continue with it, like you could like go with the theme now, and like have it maybe a little more 360, or have it like coming in from different tunnels in that way. Could be cool, like not feel constrained by that one tunnel at this point. But
It would be really fun if, like, partway through, another, like something collapsed and another cave opened up, and you had this sort of building tension as more and more routes to your eggs were opened.
it'd give you a way to like introduce the creatures in different ways too. Like you can have like overrafters come in, and then like a cave and the turtles start coming in or whatever. It's cool. Like you guys got a lot of good stuff like going here. This is a really excellent start. I agree with what Eric said. Like really nice high school level project. I'm impressed.
Cool. Thank you.